What is up, guys? Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com. In our previous video about touch controls, what we did is in our canvas we attached these these event triggers. So we have our pointer down and pointer up, and if I simply run the game, we can click on these buttons and we can move our zombie and we can even make him jump. For the jump, we simply attached our script or our game object directly here, and we selected the function that we want. And for our pointers, we did the same thing, and we selected these functions that will allow the movement and don't allow the movement. Now we're gonna do the same thing in this video, but via code or through our code. So I'm gonna go here in the tester scene, which is, well, my other scene. And if I hit the play button now, if I try to move, you see nothing is happening. We are not jumping and we cannot move. Well, first of all, we are going to handle the jump. Now, as I said, we can select the jump button, we can click here on the plus button for the on click, and we can attach our game object, so on and so forth. But sometimes you don't want to do things like that. For example, if you have a player that you want to move or make him jump via button, but let's say you can select multiple characters. That means that you cannot put your character in the scene here and then simply attach him right here and make him jump, because if you select a different character, then if we have a zombie here, for example, and you select another player, then for that other player, it will not work. You will need to do that through code. And in order to do it through code, you go here inside of our start function, and before you actually do anything, you need to go here on top and type using Unity Engine UI, because we want to get ourselves a reference to the UI element, which is a button. So we need to type using Unity Engine.UI. And now we can use these UI elements from our hierarchy or from the Unity editor in our scene. So what we need to do here is we need to say game object, find the game object with the name jump, which is the name of the game object which holds the jump button script. You see here jump, and again you need to make sure that this name matches up with the name here. If we have capital J for the name here, then in the code we also need to type capital J. If we type, for example, lowercase j, it will not work, even though it's the same word. So they need to match up, even case sensitive. So find the game object with the name jump. After that, get the component, which is the button component from him, because you see here, the jump is actually a component. It's a script that is attached to this game object. So it is a component. And now, simply here, we're gonna say dot onClick dot add listener, and for the listener we need to pass a function that we want to be executed when we press that button. So if I go here and we want the jump function, so simply paste it here, simply the name of the function like this, jump, and everything applies same as if we were to attach the jump function right here. The function needs to be public, so it needs to be public, it needs to be void, and it can have one parameter or no parameters at all. So this is for the jump, and we can test it out right now. So if I hit the play button and wait for Unity to load, if I press jump, you see we are jumping, and bam, this is working like a charm. Now, what we need to do for our events to make our game object or our player move left and right. For that, we need to go in the scripts, and here I'm gonna create a new C# script. I'm going to call this one touch event handler. And for our touch event handler, we need to attach it both on the left and the right button. So drag and drop this one right here. So make sure it is attached on the left and on the right button as well. So now that we have our touch event handler, what we need to do? Well, we need to create those events in our code. But before we do that, we need to type here using Unity Engine.event systems, because the event systems is where those events are located. And in order to use them in the code, we need to import it right here. So here we are inheriting from mono behavior, but we also need to implement pointer up handler. So pointer up handler, this is when we release the button. And here we also need to implement pointer down handler. So the pointer up handler and the pointer down handler, this one is the down, this one is the up, they will detect when we press and when we release a button. But you see here, we have red on them. It says we don't implement the interface member I pointer down handler on pointer down. So what we need to do here is that we need to create a public void on pointer down, which is the name of the function. And it takes a pointer event data, which I'm going to call data. So it takes this as a parameter called pointer event data, and I'm going to name it data. And we need to do the same thing for our up handler. So on pointer up, simple like this. And now we can simply print here. So we can say something like button pressed, and here we can say something like button released, so that we can test it out quickly. And if I go in Unity and let me just put the console here and let me hit the play button. So notice now when I press left or right, if I press here, you see button pressed and I'm still holding it. When I release it, button released. So now we detect when we press and when we release our buttons. So what we need to do now is simply here for our player script, we need to create a private player walk script, which I'm going to call player walk. And it is going to be equal to game object, find the game object. So find the game object, find game object with tag player dot get component. So get component player walk script component. Now you need to make sure that the player, or our zombie in this case, is tagged with the appropriate tag. So if I click on him right here for the tags, by default, I think from Unity version 5 and upwards, we have a player tag here by default, so we don't need to create it. If by any chance you don't have it, click on the add tag here, click on the plus button and create the tag player. So here we have it, player. Again, make sure the letters will match up. So player with capital P. Here also it needs to be player with capital P. And now that we have our player, what we need to do here is we need to simply call player walk, allow movement, but here we need to pass a boolean. And here we also need to say player walk dot don't allow movement. Same as we did in the previous video. If you don't know what these functions are, just go back here. You see allow movement will make move left pass to this parameter, and it will make don't move to false. I talked about this in the previous video. If you don't know what I'm talking about now, go watch the previous video and I will link it in the description below. But as I said, we also need to pass a boolean here. So here I'm going to say a public bool walk left like this, and simply pass it here as a parameter. We are still not done. There is one more thing that we need to do. In the code, we are done. But if I go back here, we need to select the right button. So select the right button and check the checkbox for walk left. Because when we make walk left false, then we walk to the right side. And here, the walk left will not be checked because it needs to be true so that we can walk left when we press the left button. So if I hit the play button now and move our character, you see he is moving but in the opposite directions. Actually, here it's not checked and here it needs to be checked. I said everything and I did the opposite. So for the walk left, or on the left button, check the walk left. And for the right button, don't check it. So anyways, you were looking at me like a moment ago. Look at the stupid teacher. Anyways, you see now, when I hit the left button, he walks left. When I hit the right button, he walks right. And if I jump, he also jumps. This also works on mobile. Just connect your phone as we did in our first video series about touch controls. So just connect your phone and voila, test it out and you're good to go. Just a quick recap. Here, we did the same thing as we did. Let me just save this inside of this scene and go in the sample scene. So this right here, you see? Event data on pointer or pointer down and pointer up, these are in the code. So this is how they look like in the code. So simply implement on pointer down handler and pointer up handler and implement these functions. And then in the code here, whatever you do, this right here, this will detect when button is pressed. And here, this will detect when button is released. So as long as you're pressing the button, you can do something here, and when you release it, you can do whatever you want here. Now we have other pointers. As you can see here, we have on pointer up, down, exit. We have click, enter, so you can experiment with these as well. And basically this was it for this video, guys. You can download this complete project along with the scripts. Link is in the description below. You already have the asset. I have made them available for download for the first video. So you have the assets, and if you want the project, link is in the description below. And the Fahir here from awesometuts.com. I will see you guys in the next video.